uplifting music here, and I have the amazing Coach Heather with me today. Woo! Yes, let's do our money dance. We love it. And we like the money rain down. Sometimes,
Yep.
one time I had $100 bills, and I literally threw them on myself.
Did
And I
you?
threw them.
Nice.
Yeah, oh yeah. I threw them out like this.
Oh,
Money for everybody.
coming back to me.
That's right. Come back to me. Exactly. Here, I'm going to shower myself with it. Here we go.
Yeah, it's all coming.
Yes, it's coming. This is our money dance. Woo! You have to have fun with money. Money loves fun. Money loves energy. Money loves great things. And we love money and money loves us. Yes.
Woo!
Love it. Yes, this is the way we go. I'm going to lower this just a little bit. I'd like to say thank you to HAPS for allowing us to be in this amazing space where we can come and have the freedom to broadcast the message that we want to bring. We're so excited to be able to be in this space and to be in so many different places at the same time for free. I used to have to pay for this service, and now I'm here for free. And if that's not something to be grateful for, I don't know what is. So thank you, thank you, thank you to HAPS. We are so grateful for you. And if you do not know what HAPS is, definitely 100% download the HAPS app to your phone, to your computer, and join us and create your own space where you can say your own message and spread the truth that is true to you. All right, so I have the amazing Coach Heather with me today. So tell us a little bit about you, Coach Heather.
Well, thank you, Alicia. It's awesome to be here today. I'm glad that we finally connected. It's been a while. So I am coming to you from central Alberta, Canada, where spring is working really hard at coming to us. So that is always awesome. I have a background in pharmacy and 20 plus year experience in mostly hospital settings as a clinical pharmacist, but over the last 3 years for sure have really shifted my focus away from medications and medication management to recognizing that there's more than medicine. They certainly have their role to play, but there are lots of places where they are a spare tire we were not meant to run on forever. So now I spend my time helping people find root causes for things that aren't going the way they want them in their lives, whether that be related to health or injury, or whether that's relationships or weight or any number of things. I help you find your blocks and then we bust through them together. So
yay! Yay. Tell everybody what the name of your company is.
Oh yes, our company, my husband is a pharmacist as well, and we have this business together, and it is Fasco, which started out as Patrick, Heather, and Sons Company, but when we really looked at the letters, we thought, what do we want to actually bring to the world and bring to the people that we are working with? And it's peace, happiness, abundance, significance, connection, and open-heartedness. So we figure the world will just be a much better place the more people that can live in those vibrations.
I love it. That is so amazing. Yay. Now you know why I love Coach Heather, because she's awesome. Okay. So we are going to take a dive into helping you clear programs around the cycle of poverty. And that mentality is really hard to get out of. Sometimes people feel like they're stuck in it. And so tell us a little bit about why you think this is a great subject today, Coach Heather.
It's come up in the last few weeks of coaching with one-on-ones that I do, as well as some of the group stuff that I provide, and it's been a recurring theme. You know, our money programs, as you've probably discussed on previous calls, Alicia, is it comes from our childhood and the paradigms that we grow up in and what we see going on around us, and then the decisions that we make about that. And where our family sits with their beliefs around money and even the abundance or lack thereof of funds growing up, there tends to be this block that comes in that we believe that we can't do any better than where we came from. It's like it's provided this ceiling for us, which is completely false. And I just love helping people get rid of that ceiling so that they are able to launch themselves into all the possibilities that are out there for them.
It's true. You know, the subconscious mind creates this space where poverty is safety. And so that's what keeps us stuck. And that's where we need to really move out. And so I would ask everybody who's on here to go ahead and share with your friends and your family this amazing broadcast because Coach Heather is incredible. And they're going to really want to see how she is so incredible at clearing and how she's just her touch is just incredible. So do not miss and share out because sharing is caring.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Thank you.
we're
And I
gonna
think another piece of it is that it's, you said poverty, we think that it's comfortable. And that always brings up, our comfort zone, that lots of people like to throw that term around. And I have come to the realization that comfort zone doesn't mean that where you're at is comfortable. It simply means it's familiar. So you know what it looks like. And what you don't know tends to sit you in that tree of fear where the unknown is scary, because it's like, well, at least I know what this looks like. It might not be fantastic, but at least I know what it looks like. I don't know what's out there. What if it's not better? What if it's worse than what I have? And so
yeah.
that keeps stuck in this comfort zone that really is just familiar.
So Coach Heather has beneath her face a tree. So tell us about what that tree is.
So our philosophy, my husband and I, is that we kind of see people as trees. So the physical body that we have and we carry and how we carry it is like the trunk of a tree. Okay, so you can see a lot from looking at the trunk of a tree as to how healthy that tree is, and by looking at somebody's body, you can learn a lot about how they appear to be doing health-wise. Now that's mentally, physically, the whole realm of it kind of plays out in our physical appearance and how we carry our physical bodies. The branches and the leaves are really what we are carrying and how well we are carrying it. Are the branches like trying to fall down? Are we carrying, lots of things that are weighted down? Do we have a tree that's flourishing with lots of leaves, or is it kind of sparse and dying? And that's, that affects the health of our physical body. But if we're going to make change, we're going to move into a better space and into that possibility that things can be different and that different is better, we really need to look at the roots. So the roots of the tree is how we nourish a tree, right? If you're going to fertilize a plant or a tree, or you're going to water it, you're going to work through the ground to get to the roots so that it can get everywhere else. And that's really where we want to come at things with people, is finding out the root cause.
Exactly.
And out the roots that are not good for that tree, not good for us, and cultivating and nourishing the good roots that are actually going to allow us to flourish even more, carry ourselves higher and stronger and more free.
I love that. Now, I do have a quick question because SRT is I always talk about SRT as, I call it the dandelion effect, in that when you have the leaves and the flower, that's what's happening today, I say. And then the roots are what happened yesterday. And if you take the leaves and the flowers away, the roots are still there and the weed will still come up. So
Yeah.
did you think of the tree before SRT or after?
Before.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I think I knew that, but that is just cool. That's really because it makes sense. It totally goes with SRT. So SRT, for those of you who don't know, is subconscious release technique, which we are both coaches and practitioners of. And Heather's been in about how many years has been around? 2.5 years?
It'll be 3 this summer, yeah.
3, okay. Yeah, so I came in about a year ago. So Heather is very well versed, and it's just such a pleasure being here with you. Yay.
It's a pleasure being here with you too.
Awesome. So what to programs are you going to be clearing today?
So on this topic, one of the big ones that tends to come up is once poor, always poor.
Mm.
So that's going to be the first one, because that is completely a falsehood, and it's a truth that it's a falsehood that people believe is true, and then they get stuck.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They
And what's the
weigh
second
down.
one?
The second one is respect your elders.
Mm.
Now, this is an interesting one because, people that might be listening are like, well, you should respect your elders. Absolutely. That I'm not saying that is a false statement. However, this is one of those interesting programs that what we do when we clear it is we get rid of the negative vibrations attached to it. So respecting your elders, and this is like could get into a whole other topic, but respecting others that have earned that respect, right? And respecting others for the space that they're in and where they're at. Like I talk often about holding space for others and recognizing that at any given point, everyone is doing their absolute best with the tools that they have. So their best may not look like your best, but if you can recognize that they're doing the best in any moment that they can do with the tools that they have, it spins things into more of a compassionate space. So this respect your elders, why I brought this up is because it comes up over and over where there's this mode of thought in some people where it's disrespectful to actually be more successful than your parents.
Yeah.
And as a parent myself, I know that I'll be ecstatic when my children exceed my success. That's
Yay.
like a high five to me, right? But there are people out there who feel like they've got this. I know that I'll be ecstatic because their parents only got to a certain spot. So the one piece that once poor, always poor. The other is don't be disrespectful. Respect your elders, and somehow that it got twisted into doing better than them was being disrespectful. So
That's perfect.
That one.
I love that. That's fits perfectly. So mine are, how can I get out of this financial rut, and will this ever end? I think a lot of people say that. Will this ever end? Like they just feel stuck, enslaved, in this poverty cycle where they feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. And one of the ones that we cleared before was, I have more month than money. And that's that's a very hopeless. I can almost feel a heartache, the heartache of that, how you feel like you have no way out. And then you start feeling, then it starts tumbling into, you don't feel loved or accepted, and it just like rolls you into that muck. It's like a whirlpool of garbage going
Totally.
down.
There's no escape. How do I get out of this? Like,
Yeah.
get away, run, hide, all of those.
I mean, it could go on and on, but we will not go on and on. Okay, so I'm going to give you the privilege of starting. So what I usually do is I like mimic the breathing while you're doing that. So I'm your pretend person, and what we all do, just to let everybody know, is we do clear for the people here today and anyone who may come in the future. So we are able to tap into that energetic future, the future energetic vibe, so that we can clear everybody who comes along to watch this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm putting out the intention with this clearing that it will serve all who are watching it now, as well as those who will watch it in the future, to the highest good.
Amen. So, amen.
There we go. All right. So once poor, always poor. Let's get rid of that one.
Okay.
I release all anger with once poor, always poor.
And breathe out.
I release all annoyance with once poor, always poor. Apathy. I release all apathy with once poor, always poor. Confusion. I release all confusion with once poor, always poor. I release all contempt with once poor, always poor. I release all disappointment with once poor, always poor. Dread. I release all dread with once poor, always poor. Envy. I release all envy with once poor, always poor. Evil. I release all evil with once poor, always poor. I release all hate with once poor, always poor. I release all hurt with once poor, always poor. I release all irritation with once poor, always poor. I release all nervousness with once poor, always poor. I release all punishment with once poor, always poor. I release all resistance with once poor, always poor. I release all shame with once poor, always poor. I release all stubbornness with once poor, always poor. I release all worry with once poor, always poor. I release all negative emotion with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with certainty with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with feeling with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with gratitude with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with hope with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with knowingness with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with love with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with nourishment with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with receiving with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with thankfulness with once poor, always poor. I release all blocks with trust with once poor, always poor. And I release all blocks with positive emotion with once poor, always poor. Good. Awesome. 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 Let's do a couple. Do we do the fill-ups now, Alicia? Is that how you normally run it?
No, I usually do the second one, but just pause a little bit in between because that was like a head rush for me. So I usually ask, take a deep breath in and hold. Because some people might not know this technique.
This is true. Thank you for that.
Of course, no problem.
Awesome. Okay, we recentered. I'll go slower this next time for sure. And yeah, for those of you who this is new, how we get rid of these programs is by tapping into our subconscious and telling it to release certain attachments that it's got. And so how we do that is through holding our breath, because normally our subconscious controls our breathing. So as soon as we take conscious control of it, the subconscious wakes up and open up its filing cabinet because it's like, whoa, 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 what's happening? So as it's got that filing cabinet open, we're telling it to release each and every one of the negative beliefs or negative emotions that's attached to the belief and all the blocks to the positives. And then once we're all done, the fill-ups, or as some people might call them affirmations, are able to come in and reform new connections of truthful and helpful things to us.
I love that you say that because I always say it like, we've dug out the old stuff and now we have an empty hole and we fill it with the positives that we have good soil to grow from.
that's a beautiful analogy too. You know, there's lots of ways to look at it. In our
Sure.
brain, what's happening is there's connections that,
Hmm.
you know, the first time we felt like we weren't enough or whatever the program is, these neurons start to connect, and then we find more and more reasons to believe that it's true, and then it just gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and then fires faster, right? And leads us into actions that we're not happy about. And so what SRT does is it unhooks these ends, so now they're free to make new connections. And so those new connections, we want them to make our positive and truthful things about us.
Yay! I love that. I love the scientific behind it. I always just have these like, not that they're nary fairy, but I just, I try to make like super simple analogies, but I love the scientific. That's amazing. Yay.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's do your second one.
Okay, so respect your elders. I release all annoyance with respect your elders. So breath in, say to yourself, I release all annoyance with respect your elders. Saying that silently because you're holding your breath and then breathing out. Boredom, breath in. Say silently to yourself, I release all boredom with respect your elders. And then breathe out. Contempt, breath in. I release all contempt with respect your elders. Breathe out. Disappointment, breath in. Say silently to yourself, I release all disappointment with respect your elders. And breathe out. Dread, breath in. Say silently to yourself, I release all dread with respect your elders. Breathe out. Frustration, breath in. Hold your breath and say to yourself, I release all frustration with respect your elders. Breathe out. Hate, breath in. I release all hate with respect your elders. Hurt, breath in. I release all hurt with respect your elders. Breathe out. Overwhelm, breath in. I release all overwhelm with respect your elders. Breathe out. Punishment, breath in. Say to yourself, I release all punishment with respect your elders. Breathe out. Resistance, breath in. I release all resistance with respect your elders. Shame, breath in. Hold it and say to yourself, I release all shame with respect your elders. Stubbornness, breath in. Hold it and say, I release all stubbornness with respect your elders. Worry, breath in. Hold it and say to yourself, I release all worry with respect your elders. Good. Breath in. I release all negative emotion with respect your elders. Breathe out. Good. Creativity. Breath in. Say to yourself, I release all blocks with creativity with respect your elders. Good. Feeling. Breath in. Say to yourself,
I release all feeling with respect your elders. You morphed out for a second, so I just finished it for you.
oh, thank you. Fulfillment. Breath in. Say to yourself, I release all blocks with fulfillment with respect your elders. Honesty. Breath in. I release all blocks with honesty, with respect your elders. Love, breath in. Hold it and say to yourself, I release all blocks with love, with respect your elders. Peace, breath in. Hold it and say to yourself, I release all blocks with peace, with respect your elders. Support, breath in. Say to yourself, I release all blocks with support, with respect your elders. Trust, breath in. Say to yourself, I release all blocks with trust, with respect your elders. And one more breath in. Say to yourself, I release all blocks with positive emotion, with respect your elders. Awesome.
Yay.
Good job.
So awesome. So good. So good. Okay, so now it's my turn. So I'm going to start with how can I get out of this financial rut? So we're going to take a deep breath in and hold. I release all anger with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Good. Annoyance. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all annoyance with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Anxiety. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all anxiety with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Let's see. Contempt. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all contempt with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Depression. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all depression with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Disappointment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all disappointment with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Discontent. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all discontent with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Fear. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all fear with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Frustration. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all frustration with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Hate. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all hate with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Good. Hopelessness. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all hopelessness with how can I get out of this financial rut? Good. Irritation. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all irritation with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Judgment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all judgment with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. The next one's overwhelm. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all overwhelm with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Pressure. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all pressure with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Resentment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all resentment with how can I get out of this financial rut? Shame. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all shame with how can I get out of this financial rut? Stress. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all stress with how can I get out of this financial rut? Uncertainty. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all uncertainty with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. And worry. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all worry with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Okay, so we're going to do blocks with positive. Now we want to unblock these positives because we want these positives to work for us, not against us. So when we don't believe them, they actually work against us. They cause resistance, and that causes the stop of flow of income, of money, of abundance, all kinds of abundance. So let's see. So the first one would be certainty. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with certainty. With how can I get out of this financial rut? Creativity. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with creativity with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe in, breathe out. Enjoyment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with enjoyment with how can I get out of this financial rut? Faith. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with faith with how can I get out of this financial rut? Gratitude. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with gratitude with how can I get out of this financial rut? Harmony. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with harmony with how can I get out of this financial rut? Hope. Hope. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with hope with how can I get out of this financial rut? Letting go. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with letting go with how can I get out of this financial rut? Good. Peace. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with peace with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Safe. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with safety with how can I get out of this financial rut? And trust. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with trust with how can I get out of this financial rut? There's one more. There's comfort. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with comfort with how can I get out of this financial rut? Breathe out. Yay, we got up to 20, Heather. 20 people are here. Woohoo. Okay, it's the energy. Woohoo. All right, so we have one more. Will this ever end? Will this ever end? Sometimes people will just say, will this ever end? When's this going to end? They feel like it's never going to end. And that's not true. Not if you have the right mindset. So we're going to help you with that today. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in and hold. I release all aggression with, will this ever end? Breathe out. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all anger with, will this ever end? Anxiety. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all anxiety with, will this ever end? Confusion. I release all confusion with, will this ever end? Contempt. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all contempt with, will this ever end? Disbelief. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all disbelief with, will this ever end? Dread. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all dread with, will this ever end? Embarrassment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all embarrassment with, will this ever end? Evil. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all evil with, will this ever end? Fear. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all fear with, will this ever end? Frustration. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all frustration with, will this ever end? Hate. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all hate with, will this ever end? Hopelessness. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all hopelessness with, will this ever end? Breathe out. Take a deep breath in and hold. Overwhelm. I release all overwhelm with will this ever end? Pressure. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all pressure with will this ever end? Rage. I release all rage with will this ever end? Good. Resentment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all resentment with will this ever end? Shame. I release all shame with will this ever end? Stress. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all stress with will this ever end? Uncertainty. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all uncertainty with will this ever end? Good. So now let's go over to blocks with positive because we want to have positive, but positive that's going to help us. So the first one is certainty. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with certainty. With will this ever end? Breathe out. Let's see. Faith. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with faith. With will this ever end? Feeling. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with feeling. With will this ever end? Giving. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with giving. With will this ever end? Fulfillment. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with fulfillment. With will this ever end? Hope. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with hope. With will this ever end? Peace. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with peace. With will this ever end? Take a deep breath in and hold. Receiving. Receiving. I release all blocks with receiving. With will this ever end? Safe. I release, take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with safe or safety. With will this ever end? Support. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with support. With will this ever end? Trust. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with trust. With will this ever end? And comfort. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all blocks with comfort. With will this ever end? Yes. Okay, good. Good, 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 you guys. I know that was a lot, right? It's a lot. It's very, I could feel it. I could feel like the anguish of people. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're going to make a party. We're going to do happy, happy. We're going to do happy now. Now we're going to do some beautiful fill-ups. We're going to give you positives now that you've unconnected those neurons, or what do you call them? The neural pathways.
Neural pathways.
Now
Build
they
a new
loosen up
one.
we're going to give you some new ones. So you go ahead and start, and then I'll follow.
Awesome. Okay, same process for doing this as doing the clearing. We're going to take a breath in and we're going to hold it and then say that fill up to ourselves silently and then let that breath go. So here's the first one. Breath in. I am so happy and so grateful. I am beginning to see that all things are possible. Good. Let's do another one. I am so happy and so grateful. It is safe for me to believe in me.
Good. Awesome, you guys. So let's do one here. Sorry, I have a kitty who's trying to get on my lap, and I don't want her to spill my tea. Okay. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful that I see and feel myself having and enjoying more money. Breathe out. Okay, so we have some people who don't quite believe that, and that's okay. So we're going to clear it. So let's take a deep breath in and hold. I release all positive and negative blocks and emotions with I see and feel myself having and enjoying more money. So let's let that go. There we go. Okay, good. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful that I see and feel myself having and enjoying more money. Breathe out. There we go. Yay. Okay. So let's take another deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful. I see and feel money coming into my life in new and exciting ways. Breathe out. We don't have 100% believers, so let's clear that. Take a deep breath in and hold. I release all positive and negative blocks and emotions with I see and feel money coming into my life in new and exciting ways. Breathe out. Oh yeah, I felt that. Okay, so we're good. So let's do it again. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy, thankful, and grateful that I see and feel money coming into my life in new and exciting ways. Yay! Breathe out. Yay! It's so much lighter. Yay. It's so good. All right, guys. This was so much fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. Coach Heather, you're incredible. I love your energy. And obviously, this is the most people I've had here at one time. So thank you for bringing the good energy. It could be the time, but I think it's a combination. Definitely your energy brings it in. So we are going to dance on out. I'm just going to get my music up and we're going to give you a goodbye dance with our Money Flow Mastermind. Oh, and before I forget, go to www.moneyflowmastermind.com where you can see all about our program and how to get in contact with us at the very end. So if you're here and you know Coach Heather, pick her name at the bottom. If you know me, you can pick my name and we will get back to you as soon as possible and put you on our exclusive mailing list to let you know what is happening next. All right, guys, here we go. Let's turn up the music so we can dance it on out. Everybody dance. Honey, bring it on down. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Give it to you. Give it to you. Give it to you. Bring it to me. Bring it to me. Money rain down. Money rain down. This is how it happens. It comes in. It goes out. It comes in. It goes out. It comes in. It goes out. Woo! Swimming in the dough. Swimming in the dough. Woohoo! Money rain down. Into me, out to you. Into me, out to you. That's right. Keep it, roll it up. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Bring it on in. You want to do this to yourself. Roll it on into yourself. So it comes. And then give yourself a little shower.
That's right. Open to
Somebody dance. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, and keep that money vibe up. Bye.
Bye.